Hi everyone on YouTube, Taige here and welcome to my video. One fact about Kanmusu in Kantai collections. If you're still confused why you're watching this video, let me give you a context. This includes Axis and Allied ship. Now without further ado, let's jump into the video. One of Harukaze's lines mentioned a wolf pack.
こちらにも、あちらにも敵が。まさか、軍狼戦術?
Which referencing her being ambushed by a wolf pack while escorting a convoy in 28th of October 1944. Kisaragi was sunk in 11 December 1941, making her the first ship in the game to be sunk in the war. Miyoki was the only ship in the Japanese Navy to be sunk before war. Some of Amagiri's line mentioned about President.
大統領かい? あ、なんだ提督か。どうした暇なんか? いいよ。私が相手をしてやろうか。そうかい。じゃ、行くぜ。
Obviously referencing her ramp PT-109 commanded by Lieutenant John F. Kennedy in 1943. Hibiki was the only ship in the game that changed names 2 times, Verni and De Cabris. Ushio is one of a destroyer that involved in the Pearl Harbor attack and survived the war. Ikazuchi, commanded by this man, is the only ship in the game known for rescuing survivors from HMS Exeter, Encounter, and USS Pope in real life. Hatsushimo was the last Japanese ship to be lost in the war. One can argue that she is not lost rather than mine, run aground and scrapped 3 years later, but in my opinion, she survived the war. One of the Asashio's line about the promise
まだ沈まない。あの約束を果たすまでは
is the latter's captain made a promise to Nojima's Maru captain, which led to Asashio's demise. Shiratsuyu kept referring herself as number 1 because she was supposed to be the 7th ship of Hatsushimo class, but due to the extensive modifications, she's the lead ship of her class. Shigure is one of the luckiest ships alongside Yukikaze, known for escaping numerous battles with uneven odds. Yukikaze is one of the surviving ships during the war that served in 2 navies, other is Hibiki. Arashis is one of the factors that led to the destruction of Kidobutai because she is being followed by Yorktown and Enterprise Air Group. Akigumo was never in Yugumo class. The reason is because Kagero class has many dummy destroyers with fake names but didn't actually build. To cover the construction of Yamato, why she dressed like Yugumo? Their A names are Gumos, I guess? The reason why Kiyoshimo loved Battleship because she's assisted Musashi and rescued some of her survivors. Shimakaze's name passed down to her modern JMSDF Shimakaze, a guided missile destroyer. Z1 and Z3 is the only German ship in the game to be sunk by a mine. Kureka is the only Italian destroyer in the game to survive World War II. Fletcher has the most sister ship in the game and real life, 175 ships in total. Johnston's shipwreck was the deepest in the world, about 6,220 meters deep. A whale in Samuel B. Roberts' art, referencing her struck a whale in 1944. Tashkent currently the fastest destroyer in the game, but second in real life, 42 knots compared to Shimakaze's 40. Jervis has a nickname Lucky J, which referencing all of her crew never lost to enemy actions. Kitakami is the only cruiser in real life to be converted 2 times, Torpedo Cruiser and Kaiten Cruiser. The reason why Sendai loves night battles so much because she participates in all naval battles of Guadalcanal and Empress Augusta Bay. She cruises at night. Yubari's design heavily influenced other IGN heavy cruiser Takekuni Ikeda, the surviving crew of Yahagi and war veteran, when showed a Kantai collection version of Yahagi and commented, "She is cute and looked like a good girl." Sakawa never engaged in any battle. Atlanta is the only ship to be crippled by enemy attack and sunk by friendly fire. A novelist and the founding father of Japanese sci-fi, Unno Juza, was aboard Aoba during World War II. Mogami's clumsy personality is referencing her bumping into Mikuma after Battle of Midway and sinking Shinshumaru with her own torpedoes. Mikuma was sunk in 6 June 1942, making it the first Japanese cruiser to be sunk in the war. Atago's name passed down to her modern JMSDF Atago, guided missile destroyer. Prince Eugen was the only ship of Kriegsmarine to be sunk as target ship after the war. One of Houston's line mentioned her soul as a light cruiser.
私の記憶はバタビア沖が最後だけど、その魂と名は新型軽巡に継承されたわ。
That's one of a Cleveland-class light cruiser named USS Houston CL-81. Zara and Bola is one of the 2 ships to be sunk at the same day, other being Fuso and Yamashiro. Congo was the only battleship to be sunk by British submarine and the last battleship to be sunk by the latter. Kantai de Cabo, currently the oldest battleship in the game, launched in 10th of August 1911 in real life. Despite Ise and Hyuga was remodeled after aviation battleship, they will never use any planes because of shortage of planes, pilots, and fuel. Littorio is one of a battleship that changes her name twice. Others come good. Iowa is the only lead ship of her class that survived to this day. Honshu was the first purpose-built carrier to be launched and commissioned, despite Hermes was laid down first. Kaga's name passed down to JMSDF Kaga, Izumo-class helicopter destroyer. Soryu's name passed down to JMSDF Soryu, attack submarine. Shoho was the first Japanese carrier to be sunk at war. Ryuho was the only major ship to be damaged in the Doolittle raid. Shinyu was the only Japanese ship to be converted into an escort carrier from a German ocean liner Scharnhorst. The E in Saratoga's funnel referencing her winning engineering excellence award in 1938. Hornet is the only World War II carrier to be able to carry and launch B-25 bombers. I-19 holds the record for firing the most deadliest torpedo salvo in the war, sinking a carrier, a destroyer by sheer luck, and heavily damaged a battleship. Luigi Torelli was the only submarine in the game to serve 3 nations during the war. Maruyu represents her whole class. Kamoi is the only Japanese ship to be built at the US shipyard. Commandant Test is one of a ship to live multiple lives during the war, others being Shinshu Maru. Taigei's name passed down to soon-commissioned JMSDF Taigei, an attack submarine. Kashima's name passed down into JMSDF Kashima, still a training ship. Soya is the only Japanese ship that sails into Antarctica. Shinshu Maru design influenced nowadays modern amphibious assault ship.